explosions in space would mean nothing in Apollo 13, but because of Tom Hanks and Ron Howard's use of film tools like blocking, it shook and grabbed you. It's the little things like using 4 different cinema techniques to show the big realization that make this movie great. This is our scene, when the oxygen tank explodes and as everything appears to be going wrong, Houston and Apollo 13 figure out what happened. That's how you tell a story. This is how director Ron Howard shows one. To set up,
Please. Houston, we have a problem.
just seconds before everything goes wrong, you want to set the bar real low. So calm, so unassumingly relaxed, people are falling asleep. This is blocking. The man sitting closest to camera, biggest in frame, look at that big yawn. And it's no accident his yawn stops right when he's out of frame. There's a pocket created by everyone on the edges of frame, acting casual, looking away from their monitors or hidden from view. It's a wide shot to show all of Houston isn't expecting what's to come. And inside the pocket is where our focus should be, on the man with the dialogue.
We got a couple of housekeeping procedures for you. We'd like you to roll right to...
Housekeeping means no big deal.
Your rates? Roger that. Rolling right.
Is it the audience who is bored and yawning? No. The very fact people are acting casual on screen works with the blocking in these next shots that subtly hint that there is a danger. We have a shot where the instrument panel is a third of the frame, bringing our focus to it. All of this is starting to build the rising action, the rising tension of this mini story arc.
6-0.
We have a chaotic spinning in space.
And then if you could give your oxygen tanks a stir.
Like we've talked about with camera moves, raising the tension and leaving it higher for the rest of the scene, a character's movement coming to stop, bracing for impact, has his energy go into the general tension of the moment.
You could give your oxygen tanks a stir.
Adding to his question, that lurking danger continues underneath. And then when you threaten to break the fourth wall and poke the audience in the eye, that adds fear in the audience. Characters getting in each other's personal space creates interpersonal tension, but when a character comes in on the audience's personal space, that's on another level. Dramatic irony is a fancy word for having the audience know something the characters on screen don't, something that might have the audience yelling at the screen to give warning, like the bomb on the bus in Hitchcock's Sabotage. But Ron Howard is doing that in more nuanced ways, just hinting until a racing, shaky camera push-in finds the wire, finds the sounds, and then finds the exploding problem just when the camera stops on a revealed close-up. That's the climax of what the blocking was building tension for. But again, the tension isn't gone, it's just on another level for yet another bit of rising tension. It's finally paid off. The yawning calmness from before really makes it obvious when seconds later something is seriously wrong. We've got a series of close-ups and shaky cam to highlight the danger.
Hey, we've got a problem here.
But if all that energy continued all the time, the audience would get used to it. It'd get predictable and boring, and that's no good. So Ron Howard creates small, breathable moments.
What did you do?
Nothing. I stirred the tank.
Instead of close-ups, we're using a wider angle now. And the muted reactions of Houston, void of the sound of alarms.
This is Houston.
Here there's a fancy editing trick they just pulled on us. It starts with us cutting to see what a character is looking at. But then as we cut to a different character, either one could be the one who's doing the looking. And what this does, it carries the feeling, the dread, without having to establish a new location and drop the ball of that waiting feeling in High Noon or the stress in Apollo 13. This way it's continuous and doesn't stop the beat.
Whoa. Hey.
In fact, it's part of the reason Ed Harris doesn't need to say anything. It's already been said.
Whoa. Hey.
It's kind of perfect, actually. You get to peek into the mind of the stoic leader without breaking his strong silence. But his own glance communicates just as effectively.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem. We have a main bus B undervolt. We've got a lot of thruster
What's the
activity
story
here,
with the computer
Houston.
now?
It just went offline. Oh, there's another master alarm, Houston.
And in that moment, that breath, there is that famous line.
Houston, we have a problem.
Not only is there a slight calm push in on Tom Hanks to drive the point home, but the sounds, the alarms are quieter and the music is gone so we can clearly hear him.
Houston, we have a problem.
And that's the end of that beat, as the close-ups and camera moves and sounds jack up the feeling of danger again.
Here, Houston, it just went offline. Oh, there's another master alarm, Houston.
I'm checking the quad.
Christ, that was no repress.
And unlike before, when the calmness started, when we had Tom Hanks pop up on the far side of camera, now we have Bill Paxton popping up right in front of camera. They did something similar in Scream. But in space, not only do they not hear you scream, but they don't need a closed door. You can have them float up right from below.
Christ, that was no repress valve.
Maybe it's in quad
We've
C.
got a computer
I'm
restart.
gonna reconfigure the RCS.
We've got a
Way
ping
these
light.
things fire doesn't make any sense.
We got multiple caution and warning.
It's not only the alarms that are creating this dread, this worry in audiences, but also how the informed in-world characters are reacting. And there are so many things going wrong at once, and reactions are happening so fast that they are happening on top of each other.
Maybe it's in quad C.
We've got a computer restart.
I'm gonna reconfigure the RCS.
We've got a
It goes beyond characters talking over each other. It goes cinematic.
set.
Jesus. Flight, the heart rates are skyrocketing.
Ecom.
When the audience thinks Houston is reacting to the shimmy shaking the spacecraft, but are actually they are reacting to.
Jesus. Flight, the heart rates are skyrocketing.
This gives the feeling that in-world characters are being so overwhelmed they only have time to react to half of it. On the first half, showing one character receiving a problem, and on the second half, them answering the call of another issue.
You flight GNC? Flight, they're all over the place. They keep yawing close to gimbal lock.
I keep losing radio signal. Flight, their antenna must be flipped.
22, they're gonna have to do it manually if they do
One
it
at a
all.
time, people. One at a
Flight G.
With the approach from the man from below and the man in the foreground in this next shot turned to face at Harris makes it seem like everything is coming at him, who in terms of blocking is in a position of indecisive weakness, him sitting.
One at a time. One at a time. Ecom, is this an instrumentation problem or are we looking at...
As he takes control, as he fights back against all the people crowding him, he stands up. This isn't just cinema, this is how people carry themselves in the real world. When people feel powerful, they feel free to take up more space. Now, this is how you know it's a director's choice and not an actor's. The camera pushes in, making the foreground man out of frame, and then the man on the left retreats. The whole scene is saying issues are being resolved. The camera pushing in itself gives energy and momentum to Ed Harris.
Or are we looking at real power loss here?
It's reading a quadruple failure. That can't happen. It's got to be instrumentation.
Everything feels very fluid, like they aren't rigid in solving their problems. They're climbing over each other.
Houston, we got a pretty large bang there associated with a master alarm. Shit,
And panning from Hanks to alarms and then to Paxton all in the same shot.
bust A undervolt now too.
We are seeing traction and solving problems.
Zip right now. We got a wicked shimmy up here.
But pacing still equals nerves.
And shimmies up there. Doesn't sound like instrumentation to me.
Hey, get this hatch to seal.
Just stow it. We've been hit by a meteor. We'd be dead by now. We're gonna try to get us out of this lurch.
Houston, you're in the mud. Did you say switch to Omni Bravo? Roger, and the signal strength on the
It's
high
fighting
gain
me.
went
What's
way
the
down.
story here, Jack? We keep flirting with gimbal lock.
The erratic motion on the external of the ship is a mirror for how they are moving on the inside. Camera upside down, turned around, flying in.
Switch to Omni,
and C
Charlie.
are barbacoa.
Houston, I'm switching over.
All of this is new, highlighting going beyond the alarms of the spaceship and focus mainly on the gyro motion, creating diversity in the problems they are facing.
Cell 1, fuel cell 3. We got a main bus B undervolt, cryo pressure.
And for when he realizes the oxygen is venting, we get a classic Dalian realization moment.
C bus 2, command module computer. And O2 flow high. I don't know. Maybe this is a caution and warning.
And we get another moment of quiet, the longest one so far in the spaceship for this sequence. Quiet and silence, reducing the music and sound effects to create moments where we and Captain Lovell can really notice the oxygen. And we've also got some classic blocking realizations here. You give your full attention to something important.
The space.
coupled with the one where you sit up or stand in this case. By hitting the same beat or same realization over again, you can extend any feeling. Whether that's repeating the initial ignition of the rocket at the beginning 6 times, or showing a realization with 4 separate techniques: the push-in, the head turn, the stand-up.
I can see it outside of window 1 right now.
And for really big moments, a dolly zoom or vertigo shot. They all appear different to the audience, so it doesn't seem like the beat is repeating.
It's definitely a gas of some sort.
It's got to be the oxygen.
Low, deep music, little sound effects add gravity to the situation. Even then though, people don't remain still. There's always photographed energy, photographed thought.
Roger, Odyssey, we copy your venting.
But then the break in the tension, the climax finishing, the big motion starts yet again for the next round of rising tension and climax payoff. That's it for this video, helping you appreciate great films in a new way. Like, subscribe, and smash notifications.